Hi Saxes. In this video, we are going to learn how to put the saxophone away. This is one of the few instruments where you need a special video on how to put the instrument away, and that's because of the reed. So, first thing we're going to do is loosen up this screw that we had to loosen to put the saxophone together. So loosen that up, and once you've got it loosened up, you should be able to wiggle this right out. Now I'm going to take off my reed. Remember that I told you you don't want to touch the tip of the reed. So I will loosen up the screws, and I'm going to use my thumb to push the reed up like this. Once I get it up far enough, I can take it from the sides and slide it out like that. You always want to store the reed in its case. You don't leave the reed on the instrument because it doesn't dry flat and the reed can get all wavy, and then it's not going to work very well for you anymore. Also, if the instrument and the reed aren't able to dry out because they're connected together and covered up, it can cause some mold and some yucky stuff to grow inside your saxophone, and you do not want that. So always store the instrument with the reed in its case. And the way you put the reed back in its case is the thin end goes into the case like this. You have to be very careful because they can chip easily, so very carefully slide it in, and don't slide it in too far, just enough so that you'll be able to pull it back out next time. Don't push it in too far. Then you can put the reed back in the case. We are going to learn how to actually swab out the saxophone next week. We don't need to do that this week. We're just going to put the pieces away for this week. So take off the mouthpiece. And remember to always store the mouthpiece with its cap. And then it has its special little spot where it slides right back into the case. That. And then we are going to put the neck away. Some cases don't have a special little spot for the neck and the mouthpiece. If they do, you should definitely use it. But if not, you can put them into the big pocket over here. But then it's absolutely imperative that you have the cap on the mouthpiece if you're going to store it over here, because it could very easily get broken. But you should always have the cap on the mouthpiece. Now remember, we have this little plug that we left right here, so we would remember to put it in. So you're going to place the plug into the top of the saxophone like that. That protects this key over here from getting bent. I'm going to unhook my neck strap, and I'm going to carefully place the saxophone back into the case just the way I found it. It only fits in there one way. And of course, remember to always put your neck strap back in the case so that you'll have it there next time you use it. I would recommend that you store the instrument in its case when you're not using it. Even though you don't have to bring it back and forth to school right now, you don't want pets or brothers and sisters getting into it. So I would recommend you close and latch your case every time you're done using the instrument. If you decide that you're not going to do that, at the very least, take your reed off and store your reed in its case so that you don't start getting mold and yucky stuff growing in there. And once we learn how to clean it, make sure that you do swab it out after you use it every time. So this is the last video for this week. Next week we will learn how to make sound on our full instrument, and we will learn how to clean it. See you next week.